Hey soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we are doing what specific lesson are you currently learning in your spiritual journey. And during the reading we will also be seeking advice for you on what to do exactly to go through it and to learn it and to get to the other side. So to do this reading, we are going to be pulling. Oh, thanks a lot. I think that your 3 piles are ready. Are they 3? Yes, indeed they are. So 1, 2, and 3. Let's see what we got. So for pile number 1, we have the Amazon of Fire. For pile number 2, we have the Preistess. And for pile number 3, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Now, if you like to pick with crystals, let me add these right now. There we go. So for pile number 1, we have the, the Smokey Quartz point. And this is what it looks like. For pile number 2, we have the Flourite point, and this is what it looks like. For pile number 3, we have the Dalmation Jasper point, and this is what it looks like. So take a look at which one of these 3 piles or 3 crystals you're the most drawn to, and that is probably the pile for you here today. Now, as I always mention, let your intuition be your lead, be your guide, and trust it. Whether it's calling for just one pile and you know that's your pile, or whether it's kind of like showing you other piles as well. Maybe it's kind of showing you another pile, or maybe all of the piles today. Who knows? Whatever your intuition is really telling you, trust it, let it lead the way, because through your intuition, which is your magic, you will always find the right readings. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hey soul family, welcome to the shuffling and the card picking process. It is lovely to have you around as we prepare your piles. So welcome. I always enjoy spending this time with you. It is really a pleasure that I have. And I always say I feel your energies, and I feel that it's important for you to be part of this process. So thank you. Lovely to have you. Let me introduce the cards to you. On the left are the Oracle cards, and on the right are the Tarot cards that we will be using for this reading. All right, so let's get into this and shuffle with intention, although I feel the first card has come out. Oh, second one as well. Actually, this one is ready. Okay, moving on to the next deck. What specific... Thank you. Lesson. Thanks a lot. Are you currently learning in your spiritual journey? Thank you. And this one. No, this one. Right. Moving on to the next deck. So, what? Okay, this one. What specific... Oh, thanks. This one. And this one. That was quick. Thank you. So, what specific lesson are you currently learning in your spiritual journey? There we go. All right, time for your tarot decks. Let's keep it here. And let's shuffle with intention. We'll be taking 2 cards from each deck. I feel this one. 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's get into our next deck. What specific lesson are you currently learning, thank you, in your spiritual journey? There we go. Now on to the next deck. What specific lesson, oh thanks, are you learning in your spiritual journey? Ah, okay. No, this one. Okay. Yep. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So our 3 piles are now ready. Let's put them together neatly. Starting with pile number 1. Smokey quartz, pile number 2, with the Flourite point. And pile number 3. Oh, sorry. There we go. Pile number 3 is ready. There we go. With the Mookite Jasper point. So, your 3 piles are now ready. Thank you so much for spending your beautiful energy and time with me. It is always a pleasure having you around. Thank you. And I also want you to know that I cherish and love you very much. I try to say it as every time I get a chance. I don't care if it comes out a lot. It's what I feel. It's what I always say. Thank you. And let's get into your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen this beautiful smoky quartz point, as well as the Amazon of Fire, which is the page of fire, which is the page of wands, being presented, of course, as the beautiful Pele, which is the Hawaiian goddess of volcano and fire. So let's take a look at your cards and see what specific lesson are you currently learning in your spiritual journey. Where do we begin? Let's take this one. So you have on one side of this card joyful, and on the other you have sad. Right. Ooh, looks like a volcano erupting here, referring to Pele. Okay, let's keep it here. You have child eternal, and it says determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit. Yes, very much with Pele as well. Very young energy. You have ability to see things with fresh eyes. Let's take a look at your shadow attributes. It says inability to grow up and be responsible, extreme dependency on others for physical security. Right, so we've seen both, and we're gonna find out where exactly it is. So you have reality, right? The goddess Saraswati. Okay, let's keep it here. And this is what your next oracle card looks like. Right, yes, playful. I'm seeing, yes, joyful, a lot of playful energy to you. Or maybe that's the advice, or let's see. We'll have to see the rest of your cards to connect the dots together and find out exactly what it is. You have the Justice cards. Balancing between fire and water, and we do see fire here. You have, wow, the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. We read body, mind, and spirit. So balance and everything here. Okay. Okay. You have the 6 of Swords. The 8 of Pentacles. The King of Wands. The 10 of Cups. The Knight of Pentacles. And you have the 2 of Swords ending your reading. So let's take a closer look at your cards, pile number 1. So the first thing that is really striking about your reading is that you have fire everywhere. In most of the cards that we got, despite the fact that they are from different decks, you have Pele here, who is the goddess of fire and volcano, right? We have the volcano here, or rather the fire. You have the fire in the Justice card. You have a city being burned down in the 6 of Swords. Fire as in the 8 of Pentacles. Fire in the water. Do you notice? Fire and water in the King of Wands. So you have fire all over your reading, despite the fact that literally we've picked different decks, right? So this is showing me 2 things about you. First thing, we can see that you are a child at heart, and I of course mean that in the most beautiful way. Young at heart is what I want to say. The brilliance of passion that a child has. You know how a child learns to walk? They fall 1,000 times and they keep getting back up and trying. They never feel like, oh, I've failed several times and I'm not gonna make it. They keep trying back up, trying again, you know? In fact, speaking of that story, I've seen my niece trying to walk. Man, that girl was trying to walk like it was the most important, the best thing that could ever happen to her in the world. Poor little thing. And there was this one time where she was like trying and trying and trying, and I saw her there. One time she fell, and then she had her hands like this on the floor. She put her head on the floor, and she's like, I don't know, she was like 1 and a couple of months or something. And then she went, and I'm like, wow, children can feel like that too. It was really surprising. We all felt bad for her, and we, patted her and kissed her. And I told her to try again. And so this little girl, this tiny little girl, kept trying and trying and trying until one time she was in our home. They were visiting, and I was sitting in my room. I have a very strong connection with my niece. I love her to bits. And so I was just sitting in my room, and then all of a sudden I see this little creature, this tiny little creature getting in my room, walking, and I gawk at her with surprise, not believing that she walked towards until my room. And I looked at her, and then she smirks and goes, I was like, wow, you're walking. So that was a great surprise. Now, this is what we see here. You are someone full of passion. That's what I mean by child type of energy. This energy that never lasts. In fact, like a volcano. That energy that keeps springing up until you do what you have on your mind. That is your energy in your tarot cards. You have this undying energy to do something when you believe in a cause, and that's why you have John Brown here presented in the King of Wands. And John Brown was one of the people who were considered heroes because he was all about saving slavery. He started wars just to save them. Very bold, very powerful, and very courageous indeed. So yeah, we see that about your character. There's no doubt about it. Also, another thing that I'm seeing with all the fire here is that you are a very creative person. In fact, you do see here the goddess Saraswati on the swan, and she is the monarch of music, creativity, knowledge, writing, poetry. So we see all this. We see you here in your happy place. Once you think about something, you get into this happy place, and creativity just booms with the 10 of Cups. So that is very, very apparent about you. Now, to the important bit. What do we see with all of this fire and volcano? We see that something has recently erupted in your life. A certain maybe problem. Something went wrong all of a sudden, and it's putting a lot of stress on you, it seems. You're not really sure how you're going to navigate through this hardship. Yeah, this hardship that happened. Pile number 1. Yeah. I'm very sorry about that. It seems like it was a strong shock. And it seems like this shock happened right after some very good times. So you were okay, everything was top-notch nearly. Your whole life was great. You had this beautiful spirit, inner child that was happy. Your world was happy. Everything was wonderful and balanced, and boom, something erupts. And you've changed from being very joyful, very happy, very excited about life, to really feeling sad, where all this fire started sleeping. Yeah. And this is why we see water all over the reading right next to the fire. Something put down this beautiful fire, internal beautiful fire that you had. Yeah. I'm very sorry about that, pile number 1. I do want to, however, say a very important comment about what happened to you that is very apparent in your reading with Pele. So, do know, pile number 1, that whoever caused injustice to you in your past will pay for it. Why am I saying that? Because Pele, she's very possessive over every bit of her land. It's her home and who she is, in fact. And so herself, you know. And so when people come and visit and they pocket, it's called when they pocket pieces of volcano and they go home with it, they're known by the island to have bad luck until those pieces are returned back to her. So we see the idea of someone being cursed or bad luck, getting bad luck until your karma is returned. So do know, pile number 1, that whoever mistreated you, erupted this balance that was in your life unfairly, put down beautiful fire like that, will pay back. In fact, we see here a figure in your reading with the King of Wands showing, James Brown, showing someone being bold and getting back the rights of those who were repressed, whose rights were repressed. So before we even take a look at the rest of your reading, I just want to give you a note that it's very clear in your reading that you will be getting your right back. The people who have mistreated you or were the cause of this, it seems like someone was a cause, or some people, since this is talking about karma and injustice, do know that you are getting your rights back from them. They will be paying for this karma greatly until they give it to you back, or they apologize, or until they pay for what they have done for you. You will be rising, however, just like a strong volcano. Now that we know that you've gone through some hardships, strong hardships in your life, we're seeing the message here of the 6 of Swords. We're seeing some guidance here. Do you see the 6 of Swords, pile number 1? It shows you, it's one of the very interesting 6 of Swords I have seen in most of the decks that I have, or that I've worked with. Do you see here? There is some sort of eruption that happened in a certain city. Perhaps some sort of domestic war, or eruption, domestic eruption, right? And we see a citizen here not wanting to be part of this. And so they imagine, and through their imagination, they build a balloon that helps them rise above all of this turmoil. And this is the balloon of ideas and positive thoughts and ideas that take them into new possibilities of what this citizen can do to get themselves out of this and into a new world. Now, this is someone who's busy thinking about what to do next, busy thinking about their goals, busy thinking only at the goals and not looking behind at what's happening or what happened in the past. And slowly but surely, they are moving, crossing sides into their dreamland that they will be building, because they're not putting their attention and thoughts on anything else but their dreams. In fact, do you see pile number 1? The next card that is right after the 6 of Swords is the 8 of Pentacles. And so we have the idea here that you're being guided to move away from the past and start working towards your goals, towards what is important to you. That is the strongest advice we see for you here, pile number 1. In fact, this is why we see the goddess Saraswati. See all of this energy here. The goddess Saraswati riding on her swan, playing music. You have a scroll, reading, writing, being creative. And so we see the guidance of you moving from this lesson by letting the past in the past and filling your mind, your beautiful, beautiful mind here with what you see as your happy place. What is your happy place? What are you good at? Because you are presented as someone who is super creative. In fact, you have the goddess Saraswati in your reading. Wow, I was mind blown as soon as I saw that. And so you're being guided to get into this happy place, to think about what you can create. What are your goals? What can you do to achieve these beautiful goals? Now it's time to think about the future, to go back to your happiness, and you will heal, you will be happy the soon you put foot into that creative energy. That is what you're guided to do here. And we see with the Knight of Pentacles, this is steadfast energy, taking small incremental steps every single day to get closer to that dream that fills your heart up in the morning and no longer waking up to this heavy energy of what happened and how you can get your rights back or how you lost all of this and all of that. Yes, this happened. But remember my niece's frustrating point where she went down on her knees and went, oh. That was just a phase in her journey. And what was the next phase? I saw this little tiny girl walking and smirking. It was so amazing because she was smirking. She knew I would be surprised. It was so cool. So, yeah. It's like you're going to be... There's the opposite energy here of what happened. If this is with people, you're now with the 10 of Pentacles. Now, in your future, you're moving towards ultimate happiness with the 10 of Pentacles. You're meant to be so happy, pile number 1. You even have joyful in your card. And so you're going back to that happy place. And as you connect with the energy of the goddess Saraswati, which is writing, being creative, doing something that speaks to your heart every single day, even if little by little. See, it's not about taking huge steps and seeing huge changes. Sometimes when we feel heavy at heart, all we can do is just one tiny step. This tiny step could be, opening up if you're going to write a poem, for example, simply opening up your computer screen, giving a title to your poem, saving that screen, and think about the poem tomorrow. You just birthed something. You know why? Because with productivity, one of the key secrets is really just starting. Because if people know, that's where most people fail to create something, is simply by just starting. And so if you actually start, you need to celebrate yourself. You've just done something thousands, if not millions of people are not capable of doing every day. So don't make that beginning so hard to begin with, crippling you from doing something amazing. Just start with something small. But make sure with the Knight of Pentacles that you stick to it. Even, believe me, even if it's just writing one word or two words, one idea in this poem every day and closing your screen. Celebrate yourself every day, because these tiny steps will create momentum. After you do that for a couple of times or even a month, at some point you're going to sit in front of your computer and look at your poem and go, oh, I know what to do next. And suddenly you're in the flow, you're creating something, and now it's hard to stop. And on those days where you just can't do something about it, never let it go completely. Yes, take breaks, please. But on those days where you're supposed to work or where you promised yourself to do something and you just can't, at least commit to doing one tiny thing. And that's okay for the day. You're rebuilding momentum here. So that is with the Knight of Pentacles, the meaning of small incremental steps. Sometimes super tiny, sometimes small, and sometimes average, depending on the pace that is right to you at the time. But never let it go. Pile number one, with the Two of Swords, never doubt. Should I do this? Should I not? Should I do it? If you get into this energy, it's looking at the Knight of Pentacles. Go back to doing just one tiny thing and call it a day. See, because it's not about putting everything in, burning yourself out, and then hating it and never being able to go back. And the reason I give you a lot of explanation, I'm giving you a lot of explanation here with the Knight of Pentacles, because I see your fiery energy. You're so passionate. You're someone who's meant to build great things and change great things and do amazing things. You'll never do something that is less than amazing. And so with that comes the burnout. So balance this energy of bringing out your passion. When you're ready for it, let it all out. When you're tired, please take your break. But at the same time, do one thing. One thing. Write a title, write a word, set your table for the next day. Just one little thing and call it a day. Pile number one. And with that, as we said, you'll be able to build momentum and move slowly out of this sad energy, as we see here. The past, the struggles and the pains and the hurts and the tribulations of the past. And move towards a beautiful future that is waiting for you, pile number one. Full of happiness, full of creativity, full of joy, full of success, full of self-fulfillment. And with regards to the people who hurt you, first of all, I'm so sorry, pile number one, with every bit of my heart. I really am. And number two, your cards are showing that everyone that has ever hurt you and caused this beautiful passion to at some point die or stay stagnant, killed that passion for a while. You can never take passion from a person. For a while, put it off for a while. These people are going to get their rights back. So this was your reading, pile number one. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm wishing you all the best of luck from my heart. May you always be prosperous and happy and joyful as you are, pile number one. That was your reading. If you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. By the way, this book could really help you out in this journey. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate or waste time reading it. But you'll find that it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And you're all about that, pile number one. And so, if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And also there is an audiobook now. If you enjoy audiobooks like me, I find them so much fun. And pile number 1, wishing you all the best of luck from my heart. May you always be blessed. May you always be joyful. That was your reading, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen this beautiful Flourite point, as well as the Preistess card. So we have Pythia here, which is the Delphic Oracle of the gods. So she is the priestess of Delphi. And she's very interesting. I have a lot of things to tell you, but we have to first take a look at your cards and see how this is interpreting and everything. And we're taking a look at what specific lessons you are currently learning in your spiritual journey and what advice you have. So here we have on one side of the card calm and on the other side chaotic. So let's keep it right there. Let's take a look at your next card. You have healer. So with the light attributes, you have passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. And it's really interesting that you have calm and you have the priestess here. The shadow attributes are taking advantage of those who need help, failing to care for oneself. Right. So now that we've had a quick look at the cards, let's take a look. Oh no, wait, there's more oracle cards. My apology. So you have this oracle card. This is the oracle card that is part of your reading. And last but not least, you have peace. And in this deck, the white is related to the crown chakra. So really interesting because you have the high priestess there. In fact, there's a moon here. We'll talk about all of that in a second, but let's take a look at your tarot cards. So you have the magician, the magus or the magician, right? You have the 6 of swords. You have the King of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Right. Okay. You have the King of Cups. The 8 of Cups. You have the Judgment card. And you have the 2 of Cups. All right. So let's take a look at what your reading is saying, pile number 2. So the first thing that I'm noticing in your reading, pile number 2, is that you have big cards describing you. You have the magician, you have the high priestess. In fact, here with judgment, you're rising. Yeah, we see you above everyone. That's not what I mean. I'll explain. By introducing your cards first. I think I had to introduce it before I said my observations here. First of all, you have the Hindu god Chandra, the god of the moon. And so with that, which led us to the high priestess as well, the healer, the passion to serve others by repairing body, mind, and spirit. Yeah, the judgment card rising. We see that you are someone who's always been far beyond the general level of wisdom of the people around you. You've blossomed far beyond your years at an early age. You're someone with this inner knowing, inner wisdom, of course, especially with the moon here. And we can see that you've blossomed quicker than most people and higher in terms of your intelligence, your understanding. In fact, in the Six of Swords, we can see the Hebrew letter Shin, which means tooth, seeing that you kind of digest information very quickly. Also with the Hebrew letter He, which means window. It's like there is a window, a psychic window that you have, where you see things beyond what others see. Pile number 2. That is very apparent in your reading. You've been a very spiritual person at a very early age without knowing what spirituality was. It's something in you. You have this inner wisdom and inner knowing to you from a very early age. Right. So at the moment, I see you are in your spiritual journey, learning how to regulate chaos in your life and to remain calm. Now, this is the most highlighted time of your life and one of the most important journeys or life lesson that you're going to go through. I mean, you're going to go through life lessons, of course, throughout your life as anyone. But I mean, this is the most important one. Why? Because it seems like you're supposed to be a sort of healer of some sort. Now, with the Priestess here, I do not see that you're going to be some sort of someone. What I want to say, you're not going to be someone who is solely and specifically into spirituality, like someone who maybe does pranic healing, or someone who reads tarot, or any of these things, although they could be tools you can use. But I do see that you're going to be healing others through some sort of speaking. The reason I say that is because you have Pythia here, and Pythia is like I said, the Delphic oracle of the gods. And the difference, according to ancient Greek mythology, is that there's a difference between the two, where oracle comes from the Latin verb orare, or to speak, right? And so the oracles in ancient times were speakers. They weren't necessarily ones who were considered like the seers, who interpreted the signs. And so an oracle is a portal through which, as explained, the gods can speak directly to people rather than indirectly through signs and manifestations. So here we see that. Oh, and by the way, did I tell you that Pythia was the most important oracle here, and so oracle in Greek mythology? And so now we get the idea that you're going to be a very important healer, perhaps through speaking, saying direct information, whether it's outright speaking or writing, but you're gonna say direct information. And we can see with the King of Cups here, I think he was called Erasmus. Let me check. No, sorry, Erasmus of Rotterdam. And he was a brilliant writer. And this was during a time when there was the churches wanted him to take sides between the Protestants and the Catholics, and he didn't want to take sides. He did not see that they were doing the right things or practicing things right, and so he was very progressive, and he did a lot of work that really pushed the churches forward, or or reform the church. And he laid most of the foundations for which religious tolerance was created. So yes, very important work that bridges things into the future. Here we see you helping others digest information, and with the window going to the other side, to another way of seeing and doing things. So pile number 2, obviously you're on a very important spiritual journey, and in order to help others into that journey, you have to rise yourself. And with the 2 of Cups, find that love or that healing within yourself first before you give it to others. And the 2 of Cups here is discussing the chaotic energy that needs to come into balance. And you're on a spiritual journey at the moment, learning how to navigate with the 6 of Swords, how to navigate through these emotions in a calm, tranquil manner. And that requires a lot of healing, body, mind, and spirit, especially your emotions, regulating your emotions, pile number 2, and finding your internal peace. And the reason I say that is, as you can see here, we have the god Chandra riding a reindeer, which is of course a symbol of unconditional love. We see nurturing yourself with love during this chaotic time. And you can see that the reindeers, they have bells, and they're a symbol for tranquility, you know, this the blissful sound of peace, the blissful sound of liberation. So you're finding within yourself that calm, that tranquil. You're learning that in your journey, and we're going to talk about it in a second. You're learning to navigate through all of that, because once you understand and digest this information and how to apply it and how to heal, you best will be able to explain it to everyone else, give them a peek into how to navigate through it once you understand it. And so here with the Oracle, perhaps you are being sent very good information. You find your way towards critical good information about healing body, mind, and spirit, so that you can take that, digest it, and help lay the foundation for something magnificent later on. So with the King of Pentacles, we see you succeeding at it first, so that you can, with the Ace of Pentacles, give it to others and create this new strong beginning, one with the dragon, with a strong foundation to help others rise as well. So you get out of it first, and with that you'll be able to explain it to others and get out. We see spirit, mind, spirit, and body here in your reading, pile number 3. Sorry, pile number 2. So I'll get your tarot cards to get clarification, because what I see here is you training yourself to always deal calmly internally first, not just externally, but internally, through all of the things that you go through. And so to train oneself to stay calm, to notice that perhaps there was some irritation happening because of a certain external circumstance that happened, but to learn to remain calm through it. Let's seek some guidance and find how you are advised to do that, pile number 2. Strong advice to how pile number 2 can apply this advice, please. Okay. So pile number 2, you have the 6. Oh, let me adjust that. The 6 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles, the 3 of Swords, the Chariot, and the 9 of Pentacles. So how are you advised to do that? So the first thing we see is continue to nurture this habit, to let it practice, where in the beginning it may not be perfect, that you are able to create this internal peace. But the more you practice it, the more it's going to be a solid habit that is super loyal to you. Something that you do very unconsciously without even thinking about it. So it's something that you have to practice doing and let the habit grow until it becomes solid, and it will, because that's the result that we see here. Once you start growing it, you'll find that it will work automatically for you, where you, with the 9 of Pentacles, feel really happy, feel that you've achieved something amazing that you're able to make use of. Pile number 2. Oh, and another thing that I see as your guidance: never, especially in the beginning, feel like, oh, I tried several times, it didn't work. Sometimes it gets out of control with the 3 of Swords. Never think that anything is out of your control. Let things happen the way they do. Let them. And if sometimes you cannot deal with it, that's okay. That's okay. As long as you have this ideology and always try to go back to it, you will see that, yes, maybe in the beginning a habit is not easy to fix, but the more you draw yourself back to this idea whenever possible and let it grow, the stronger this muscle is going to be. The more you're reversing this neuropsychological pathways that have been created over the years. And so in the beginning, it goes out of control, and it's not out of control. You do have the key. It will work. You just have to be a little bit patient with it. Let it work the way it wants to work in the beginning, but have in mind the fact that this is just temporary, that you will always go back to that thought of calling in inner calmness. Perhaps sometimes taking a bath, or do all the things that can calm you down, taking a walk, speaking to someone that can calm you down, or just enjoying your time with someone loyal to you, or listening to music, sleeping it out, or maybe whatever is right for you, cleansing the area around you. One thing or the other. Always try to go back. And the more it goes out of control and you try to bring it back in, you will see that automatically later on this muscle will grow and it will work automatically for you the other way around, just like the old program did. Now you're just full of inner peace. Oh, one of the examples I wanted to give here, perhaps meditate, because we see someone meditating here. So yeah, meditate, listen to music, take a salt bath or a shower, walk in nature, anything that really can calm you down. And with that, you'll find, pile number 2, that you will find your inner peace, that you will be supported, spoken to directly through information being given to you, visions, or you putting it and all of that, you putting it together and laying the foundation, like we said, to something brilliant that will be super effective for people later on. I don't know what you're going to do, but I would love to read your work, pile number 2. I know it's going to be revolutionary. I know you're going to do something great. So yes, please do let me know. And I'm really wishing you all the best of luck in this amazing journey. Pile number 2, this was the specific lesson that you're going through. And I'm wishing you all the best of luck with it. Great healing and great blessings. So this was your reading, pile number 2. If you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, pile number 2. This book is small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate or waste time reading it. But you'll find that it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying this process. And so if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And now there's also an audiobook if you enjoy audiobooks. And pile number 2, it was such a pleasure. I want to say meeting you, such a pleasure knowing you. I'm really wishing you all the best of luck in this journey. And please do let me know when you create something. I would love to listen to you. Pile number 2. Thank you. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful Dalmation Jasper point as well as the Wheel of Fortune. Gotta say, my favorite card in tarot also here is presented by Fortuna. So you must know I was really excited about your reading. It's finally here. And of course, Fortuna is the goddess of fate and fortune, and also is the personification of luck in Roman religion. So very excited about that. Let's keep it here. Oh, also let's light up your candle. Hold on. There we go. Right, let's take a look at your cards and find out what specific lesson are you currently learning in your spiritual journey, and we'll seek advice for you as well. Actually, I'll start with this one. So you have serene, and the other side of the card says agitated. Okay. You have, wow, you have God, with the light attributes, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. So the shadow attributes are despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. Right, so let's keep this here. Actually, yeah, this way we have more space. And let's see what you have. Ooh, you have fear, and you have the goddess Kali here, standing on Shiva. Sorry, pile number 3. I just had to adjust the camera. My apologies. So, yeah. And this really works. The story here with Kali and Shiva is really going along with serene and the concept of serene and agitated here. Also God, right. This is your last oracle card. Okay. Now let's take a look at your tarot cards. So you have the Queen of Cups. You have the World card. Wow, the 10 of Cups. The 7 of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles. You have the 6 of Wands. The 9 of Wands. And the 2 of Pentacles. Right. So what specific lesson are you currently learning, pile number 3, in your spiritual journey? Let me push these cards down a little. So the first thing that I'm noticing about you, pile number 3, is that you have, of course, the Wheel of Fortune here with Fortuna. You have God. You have the King of Pentacles, represented in this deck as Giovanni de Medici, who has founded the Medici Bank at his time, was very reputable, very respectable, people all over Europe really respected this bank, and he created, him and his generation, his sons, and created the Medici dynasty. He was also involved in textile and wool. His factories grew when they started getting into import and export. So we see someone who's capable of huge success. So we have the Wheel of Fortune with Fortuna, the goddess of fortune, luck. We even see in your main oracle card here the ability to attract things to you, to bring things to your life. We see with the Seven of Pentacles, your Seven of Pentacles here, that you're a very hard worker and you put in blood, sweat, and tears to make things grow. And you are meant to be very successful in your lifetime. Super successful, pile number 3. You're meant to do big things. So your spiritual journey at the moment, with serene and agitated, is to learn to align yourself with the manifestation energy that you're capable of doing. And that's what we see the Queen of Cups doing here, nurturing her beliefs, nurturing her creativity, her goals maybe. So let me tell you what I'm seeing. You have here the Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands, managing your doubts, managing your fears, because only then will you get into this manifestation journey that you're meant to get into. You see here Kali. Do you see? So interesting. You know, I love this story of Kali and Shiva, where there was a time when the devil, I think his name is Raktabija. The devil Raktabija was such a very dangerous demon, because whenever you tried to kill this demon, every blood drop that went down created even more demons. So you had to handle this very scary demon who multiplies when you try to kill him. And so there was a time when all the gods went to Shiva and they told him about Raktabija, and they told him, we know that you don't want to ever come out of your meditation, out of your state, and you don't like to interfere, but this one time we really need your help. This devil or Raktabija is really destroying the world and we have to take care of him. And so Shiva created Kali, and Kali is almighty and powerful. And so Kali was single-handedly able to kill Raktabija, and Kali is always depicted as holding a bowl, as you may see here, to collect Raktabija's blood and drink it. And so she was able to overcome Raktabija. But when she did, she after drinking all of this demon blood, she got agitated, for real. And she was going around the earth, the planet, creating chaos herself, because she was in an unbalanced energy. And she was going around destructing things because she was, like I said, in this unbalanced energy. And so Shiva had to sit down, had to lay down so that she would step on him and get the grounding. He would absorb this energy and she would feel calm and serene and back, earthed back into balance. So we clearly see in your reading, pile number 3, that your fortune, your great manifestations that you will create in your lifetime, will come by nurturing yourself. When you are in this, see, 10 of Cups is excess of an energy, high vibrational energy, you will be able to calm down your fears, find your balance, find your ground. And from there, you will have the serenity and the brilliance to create all of the success that you're meant to create here in your lifetime. Why? Because it seems like without this serene energy, you could be consumed by fear. And this fear would really agitate you from focusing on what you could finish with the world card, on what you can achieve, and focus rather on the fears and the worries, pile number 3. And for this reason, you're really being guided to always, whenever you find yourself being worried and afraid, to find your ground, to nurture yourself, and to not stay into the cycle of feeling like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this, it's not going to happen for me, or how am I going to do this, or am I running out of time, or whatever sorts of doubts and fears that could hit your mind as you're working towards something important. Because I'm sure with all of these cards, you've either started, or you know what you're meant to do, or you know that you can create something great. And to tune into this frequency of manifesting that you have in full power, you're surrounded by good luck, and to get in touch with it is like putting a plug into the wall and getting this energy. And to get it is to always vibrate high and nurture yourself. It's going to be okay. It's going to turn out great for me. I'm meant to have amazing things in my life. I'm meant to create so many great things. Nothing horrible is going to happen to me. And if I get a challenge along the way, I'll always find a way to figure it out and do exactly what I want, because I am a manifester. That is really the energy here. You have God in your reading. Not only do I feel with that you're fully supported by the universe or God or whatever you believe in, fully in your spiritual journey. Perhaps you're going to create something amazing with the world card. Maybe the world card and the 10 of cups, you could be changing something around the world, one step at a time. And you need that type of serenity and vibration to focus, to create that brilliance, pile number 3. So yes, your advice is totally about grounding yourself, nurturing yourself whenever you feel worried, to tell yourself, I'm meant to do something great. It's all going to be okay. Even if it doesn't work out for a little while, I'll always go back to me, and I will always go back to the manifestation power that I was born with, that I have by nature, and I'm going to be doing great things in the world. So looking at the trajectory of things, I'm going upwards. And if things didn't work out, if I have a challenge in life, if things look like they're not working at all at this point of life, I must always know that it will always work out for me in the end in the best way possible. And all I need to do is just to continue working towards it, slowly but surely, without any doubt. In fact, I'm going to pull out your tarot cards and seek guidance on what type of thoughts to have, what type of ideas you're being guided by spirit to have, in order to get into the serene manifesting powers that you have. Pile number 3. Let me grab your tarot cards. You know, pile number 3, I rarely read in reversal on this channel. Very rarely. But seeing this card and its reverse, I kind of got this intuitive hint to read for you in reverse today. So whatever, I shuffled it with upright and downright, and let's see what we have. So what advice is there for pile number 3 on what to do exactly? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I feel this one. And 6. Let's see what you have. Pile number 3. Oh, so we have 6 cards. 7 of Wands in reverse. Temperance in reverse. Chariot. Oh, are they all in reverse? Okay. We have the Sun in reverse. Ace of Cups in reverse. The Hierophant in reverse. Oh my god. I know I shuffled this deck with both ways round. I mean, you'll see some things in reverse, some things upright. So you really did just get most of your cards in reverse. So that's the advice. We're getting advice on what to do exactly. Pile number 3. Interesting that it came out like that. So with the 7 of Wands in reverse, I'm seeing the idea of not fighting the worries. It's not about fighting the worries or forcing yourself to be in balance. It's not like, I don't want this. Why am I not feeling okay? Because here with the Chariot in reverse, this is not, this is like a block. It's not the way to get into this serene energy that you're looking for. It's also not always expecting that things are gonna be perfect. Yes, we vibrate high despite what's happening. Sometimes things are amazing and the sun is shining, and some days are just not as amazing, right? Some things do happen in our spiritual path. So be okay with the fact that nothing is going wrong if a day isn't going right necessarily. And with the Ace of Cups in reverse, we see the idea that you don't have to be happy all the time. Well, hear me out. I'm not saying you should be sad. Definitely not. I heard once a psychologist was speaking about the fact that we misunderstand our natural state, and for this reason we put goals that we're not physically able to achieve all the time. And so he was explaining that human beings must be in a state of serenity. In fact, this is your card. Ooh, yes, and not in a state of happiness all the time, because that's not a natural state. We're not supposed to be in this dopamine hit all the time. Where enough is released in our body to feel serene. And so when you're not overly happy and excited and wonderful things are happening, don't feel like something wrong is happening. Don't feel like you're supposed to be happy, but to set your goals into something that you can and should achieve, and that is serenity. To feel peaceful, to feel okay, to feel like you're doing all right. And that's really what it is here. And so this is why we see also the Hierophant in reverse, giving the idea of changing your beliefs about the things that we're seeing here, changing the beliefs that it's not about being happy all the time, that things aren't always going to be perfect, and when they're not, do know that this is just temporary. You will always go back to your state. Things will always work out, especially for you, pile number 3. And when you're feeling bad, to not fight it, to realize that it's okay to feel this way, that you don't have to push yourself to be in balance all the time. It's okay to experience. We don't get to choose what happens in the outside world. And so what initially hits us is out of our hands. But how we respond to it is what matters the most. And once we realize that we've been put in this state, it's a matter of practicing to always calmly go back to being okay, to regulating our emotions, to feeling serene, and to tranquilly go back to vibrating high by thinking of what to solve. So these are emotions that are there to warn us that something is wrong. Take the feedback, think about what you can do better next time, because you're the boss here with the King of Pentacles, pile number 3, for real. And take note, see what you're gonna do, what's the best case scenario, what's the worst case scenario, get into it, try to fix it, and know that everything is a work in progress. And go back to your serene state, knowing that whenever you get agitated or worried or experience fear, know that nothing in the world, nothing is worth your serenity. Nothing has a higher price tag. And do know, pile number 3, with the God card here, that you are looked after. You are a special being who has a big mission to help the world one way or the other. And you're meant to achieve big things in the world. You're a huge manifester. And so why not get in touch with that sort of power? Know that if once you're tapped into this manifestation power, you'll manifest whatever it is that you want. And that includes the opposite of what you're worried about, or the solutions to what you're worried about. Know that for you, pile number 3, there is always a way. You will always find your way out. You will always be successful, and you will always manifest what you want. And this is what your reading is saying, pile number 3. I wish you all the best of luck in your journey. May you always achieve what you want, feel happy, serene, blessed, and full of wonderful things to share with the world. And that was your reading, my dear pile number 3. If you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, pile number 3. This book could really help you out in your journey. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate or waste time reading it, but you'll find that it has all the key advice and secrets that you'll need to become a productive person right away, all while enjoying this process. You'll find that this book truly holds true to this promise. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And there's also now an audiobook if you enjoy audiobooks like me. And pile number 3, it was a real pleasure getting to know a powerful being like you. What a lucky thing it is to be in touch with wonderful, amazing, powerful beings like you. I feel so blessed to be around you. I hope you always stay here. And pile number 3, wishing you the best of luck, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.